Good morning, welcome to another episode of Panchos Garage. Continuing on from last time, we took the engine and trans out, which you can see is down there. We took it out so that we can get clearance on the trans tunnel to run the fuel lines. I actually got the metal fuel lines and starting unrolling them to see if they are long enough, which they're right there on the floor. And yeah, I think both the pressure and the return line should be okay lengthwise. We'll see once we start putting it together. And then on top of that, I'm also gonna work on the gas tank vent thing, which is I'm gonna put this guy in here and then run the lines for that. There's this one hose, which is this one right here, which is pretty much unobtainium. No one makes it. And what's weird about this one is that curve right there. I had this little guy made so that we can just run a small piece of hose, clamp onto the tank, and then from here we can, these small bends, this is another 90, which we could get another fitting, but basically make that curve there, straight hose, and once it's up here on this side we can just connect it to here. So I mean, this thing was an AC U-bend something or other. I don't know, I found it at one of the shops that when I was looking for AC fittings locally, so they had one there and I was like, I took it. I thought it was gonna be useful for this, and yeah, I think it's gonna work, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm gonna start working on the gas tank first, and then we're gonna run the lines and go from there. So hopefully we'll get most, if not all of this done, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so tank's out. I installed this piece that we made basically to replace this hose that's pretty much unobtainium. The hose coming in from the car comes in at a slight angle like this, so we're able to give this a little bit of a bend like that and then connect it, and everything should in theory hold and make the connection there. And then once it's in the car, you know, we just have another 90-degree bend that we can figure out over there. It's not that big of a deal. It's just this 180 right here is the biggest issue. But anyways, I hit the part that I cut out over there, hit it with some primer. I'm waiting for that to dry in a little bit so that I can test fit this guy and also these guys. I gotta see, because I think there's a little frame piece that goes right here. I want to see if this guy clears. If not, I have like a 90 here, or I have a 90 and I think we can bend it down so that this hose goes down this way, this vent hose just goes straight and up, and then this one goes this way, and then we can figure it out with the rubber hoses over here once we get the clearance here. So I'm gonna wait till that thing dries, and then we're gonna do a test fit on this to make sure everything else fits. So we'll do that next. Alright, another quick update. I got the tank in, and over here on the fuel pump outlets, which is up here, that guy clears great. So we're just gonna have a hose from here to here. This guy I had to swap from, I had a 45 and I just put a straight one, and then the straight one sticks out right there perfectly. And then the vent hose that goes right in the middle, you guys can see, it's basically here. It's just gonna come out straight and then up. That's not a big deal. And then on this side, up in here, you guys can see it's right there, and then I can't, oh, well, it's touching the hose. which is great because this I can swing in a little closer to the tank. And then I don't know if you guys see here, this guy comes in at an angle, so that comes in there. We had a little bit of wiggle room on the curve with the joint on top, so I can bend that up a little bit and bend this one down. We'll have no kinks and it'll fit perfectly. So I think that's a win. And then over here, all we got to do is, once we have this hose, is route it through here and then up into the little tank that goes over there. So I gotta go take the tank down again and clamp some stuff down, move that guy up a little bit. Not a big deal. I think I'm gonna start now finally on this guy. See if I can run both fuel lines, put in the, and have it connected with the little rubber insulators that I got. So yeah, let's try and figure that out now. Alright, so technically it is another day. I did a couple things off camera. I got the fuel lines in, which you can see down the trans tunnel there. They all have their insulators all the way up across, nice and neat. The one that's up here by the diff, which is this guy right here, that one was a bit of a pain. That little screw right there took me about an hour to put. I was this close to taking the diff off, but luckily I got it. Everything held up, so that's cool. And then they meet over here to this guy over here, which I'm going to show you on this end. On this insulator, I'm missing half of the insulator, the bottom part, so I still got to 3D print that and then put the little screw there. But then right here, we're just going to put two fittings and then run a hose from the fitting over the mustache bar to the top of the fuel tank here, where we have one outlet here and one outlet there. And then so basically fitting hose, still gotta make the hoses, I still gotta touch the fitting to the hard line. And then on the front side, we have our two exits, which I'll show you right now. So continuing from there, this would be the return. And then this little hose I'm gonna recycle. Actually cut this one to size. So once we put a fitting there, this should reach there. This hose used to be the one that was on here with that hard turn to the ITBs. So instead of you know, just throwing it away or remaking it or whatever, I'm gonna just recycle it and it'll fit there perfectly. Pretty awesome. And then, so that's gonna be the return, goes all the way back. And then right here, this is the feed. We're gonna put a fitting here and we're gonna have it cross the front of the engine to where the ITBs will be on this side somewhere here. And then it'll feed the ITBs from the front all the way to the back, and then on the last ITB it's gonna go right back here, something like, yeah, and then from here it'll keep the pressure, go back to the return, etc. So the only thing left to do right now is basically just throw some of the fittings on here and then make some hoses. So I'll do a couple of those and show you how that's done. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so to install this type of fitting, you got three little pieces. Here's the third little piece. Basically, all you do is slide this guy in here, then slide this one in there, and slide this one in there. Then you tighten that one, and that's basically it. Just make sure that this guy has a little, like a little lip right here. Make sure the lip of that is touching the tip of your hose, I'm sorry, of your line, and then tighten, and that's basically it. So let's see, I got a 1, 2, 3, 4 to do, so let's go ahead and do those. Alright, so that was pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. I didn't show you me doing the rear because it's pretty straightforward, and there's like, it's very difficult to film in there. But anyways, it's in, as you can see. I got the front one here fitting, and then in the back actually connected the little hose, so that's the return there. And I think I'm gonna do it that's gonna do it for today. I'm gonna off camera do the other hoses and whatnot that needs to be done in the back. It's just plumbing, it's boring stuff. But anyways, yeah, if you guys are thinking about doing this, do this before you have your engine or differential in there. It'll make things a lot significantly easier. But anyways, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.